I am pro-life. I always have been. There is no greater gift on this earth than a child. But I am kind of freaking out right now. And I'm starting to regret the way I voted, the way I've been thinking. And honestly, I'm scared for my life.
You F around and find out. Yeah. So this woman is pregnant and she's having high risk pregnancy. This is her third pregnancy and she's in her third trimester. So there's possibility that, or the doctor is telling her there's possibility that she's going to have a stillbirth. But then the law in that state, they cannot operate the baby out of her because it's going to be called, and it's illegal. And now, because she voted for him, and now she's like, oh my God, she did not know that that was what she voted for. She thought that when women were saying, oh, this, she thought they were going to give birth to the baby and not like unalive the baby like that. She didn't know that they were doing it to save women's life. Okay, now that she's in the situation, now that is her own situation now, she's in tears, she's crying, she's ranting. Let me show you all the video, then I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
So I live in Texas and I'm pregnant with my third baby. And I am pro-life. I always have been. There is no greater gift on this earth than a child. But I am kind of freaking out right now. And I'm starting to regret the way I voted, the way I've been thinking. And honestly, I'm scared for my life. I'm older, so this is a high-risk pregnancy. I had my first two babies, I did home delivery. I delivered them at home. And it was painful, but it was no problems at all. This one, I'm older and it's high risk, so I had to go to a different doctor than I usually go. And she's, all the way in town. So I have to drive, 40 minutes in town to see her. So in this third trimester, things are getting a little bit tricky. And she said to me today, she said, you need to start making plans to deliver this baby out of town. You need to spend the next few weeks out of state. I don't know anybody out of state. I was like, what are you talking about? And she said, well, you're very high risk. And we're monitoring this baby closely. But if the baby's heart rate slows down, if we think the baby's life is at risk, you could die. And she said the reason is because in this state, you're not allowed to operate on a woman who loses the baby. You have to go into labor naturally and you have to deliver the baby. You have to go into labor and you have to deliver the baby. And if you have a baby in your uterus for that long, you could go into septic shock and die. And I was like, what on earth are you talking about? And she was like, well, it's all about abortion. And she told me that these late term abortions, I mean, I'm so embarrassed to say this, but I literally thought that babies were born and doctors were baby after it was born. I thought late term abortion was an abortion. You end the pregnancy because you don't want to have a baby, but she said late term abortion is just a necessary procedure when you lose the baby inside the womb to protect the mother's life. I was like, what are you talking about? Then, of course, I called my husband and he's at work and he's like, that's dumb liberal doctor. Don't listen to her. We're staying here. Let's find a new doctor. Honestly, I don't know what to believe because for my entire life, okay, I'm 35. My entire life, I believe that late-term abortion is somebody saying they don't want their baby. And that's not allowed in the state of Texas, obviously, because I vote for Trump. I vote for MAGA. I vote for Greg Abbott. But they're telling me it's actually something different. It's a life-saving procedure to save the mother when the baby has died in the womb. That's insane. That's not allowed. I have to make plans out of state. I don't know anybody outside the state of Texas at all. And I'm not going to have an abortion. Why can't if my life is in danger, why can't I save myself? I have 2 kids at home. I'm freaking out. My blood pressure is through the roof. I have no idea what to do. Somebody who's from a different state or somebody who's a doctor, just please explain it to me because this cannot be real.
A lot of people in the comment section were not feeling any empathy for her and it's not because they are wicked or they don't have human, no, it's just they're like, you already know. You're like, what do you mean you don't know? What do you mean now that you voted for him because you know that you are thinking it will never happen to you. You are thinking it will never happen to you or your family. You are thinking probably you're going to be exceptional or nothing like that is going to happen to you. And that is why you voted for that kind of law. The law that is protecting women from getting unalived. But then you voted for him. You already know. So people are not giving her that empathy. I don't know. What do you guys think? How do you feel about this whole thing? Are you like, you fuck around and find out, or you're like, oh my god, she needs help, da, da, da. I have your reaction on this video. Let's watch these stitches together, then I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
State, you're not allowed to operate on a woman who loses the baby.
So please go back and watch the rest of this video for full context. But just to break it down for you, this is a woman who was pregnant in her 3rd trimester. She's later in life, and currently right now she is experiencing complications with the baby. And her doctor has informed her that she should start looking for out-of-state practices because there is a good chance that this baby is not going to survive in the womb, and that she may now need to have a procedure done that they can no longer operate on in the state of Texas due to the way that it was voted for. This woman is also somebody who voted for that particular order in the state of Texas, who is now regretting her decision for the way that she voted because now her life is at risk. And she doesn't know which way to believe, of whether or not to believe her doctor or believe her husband, who's telling her that her doctor is full of shit, that they're going to stay in Texas and that they're going to continue to have the baby. But basically now she is up shit's creek without a paddle. And there's going to be a lot of people on this app that are going to say, oh, well, we need to have empathy for this person. No, I do not have empathy. I have zero empathy for this type of situation because this is exactly what you voted for. Period. And the reason why I express zero empathy for this particular situation is because this is the perfect example of you thought this was never going to happen to you. You claim to be pro-life, yet you voted for people who would not turn a blind eye if people, adults, children, whatever it may be, were literally sitting there dying in the streets. There is a difference between pro-life and pro-birth. And you, my dear, have literally just been categorized as an incubator. It does not matter that you identify as MAGA and that you voted red this past election season. You are still a woman. And everybody knows that women in the eyes of MAGA are absolutely meaningless. Yeah. And just because you're white, that still does not excuse the fact that you are a woman. And to them, you do not matter in this particular instance. And the fact that you were even considering listening to your husband's advice makes you a fool. And I'm not trying to be hard on anybody on purpose. That's not why I'm here. No. But what I would like to enforce is the fact that your decisions have consequences. And because you thought you were too privileged to receive any consequences, now it's coming back and biting you in the ass. I wish you the best in anything that happens in the future. But with regard to the future, start making smarter decisions. Yeah. Because now you're seeing what happens when you don't think before you vote. Peace be with you. I wish you nothing but the best.
So I live in Texas and I'm pregnant with my 3rd baby. And I am pro-life.
And this is why I really hate everything that is going on lately. I really hate it with all my heart. You know why? Because I know for a fact that I'm a fucking good person. I'm a good person. I have a good heart. I have compassion. I try to be my best every single day. I try to be a best person every single day. So I know I'm good. But for some strange reason, I cannot even feel bad for this woman. Like, I just can't. It's like you did this shit to yourself. And you didn't even care. You couldn't give 2 shits back then when you fucking broke down. And now what? It's because it's happening to you. Now, out of nowhere, you're concerned. And now, out of nowhere, you're talking about, oh, this is cannot be possible. Yes, it is. And this is why I hate it, because it's making me a bad person. I don't have the bad feeling for you. I don't feel bad. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling because I know I'm a good person. But this shit really irritates me. It really irritates me. So the choice right here, what do you have to even think about? Why you even talk about, I don't know what to do? Should you believe your educated provider, or should you just believe your MAGA husband? I don't know. Something's going on right there.
And I am pro-life.
Okay, go watch that woman's video. She is probably about to have a stillborn, and she explains that her doctor told her she needed to leave the state of Texas because if her child is stillborn, she will need to have a procedure done that is now illegal in the state. Her doctor explains that it's illegal in Texas to operate on any woman who has a child inside of them, even if the child is no longer living, and that it would be considered a late-term schmortion. And this woman says, I'm pro-life. I've always been pro-life. I didn't know that's what a late-term schmortion was. It's a life-saving procedure. So she's scared because she might go septic, and she's confused because her husband's telling her one thing and the doctor's telling her another. Like, I don't know why she's even considering listening to her husband, but she's experiencing cognitive dissonance because she's always believed that a late-term schmortion was an elective procedure, and now she's finding out that it actually saves lives. She'd never taken the time to read up on it before forming an opinion on the matter. No, why would she do that? And if it seems like I don't have that much empathy for her, it's because I don't. I've been through this exact scenario. In 2018, my only child, my son, was stillborn at term. And the procedure that saved my life is now illegal in, I think, 7 states because of the votes of people like this woman. And I would quite literally not be here if it were to happen to me today.
Yeah.
So, empathy is not like an endless wellspring, right? People can get tapped out on empathy. So if you find yourself not feeling anything for her, that's okay. You're not a sociopath. Feel sorry for me.
Entire life, I believe that late-term abortion is somebody saying they don't want their baby. And that's not allowed in the state of Texas, obviously, because I vote for Trump. I vote for MAGA. I vote for Greg Abbott.
Is this the part where we say and find out? Because this woman, her entire video is about how she is high risk because she's an older pregnant woman, and she went to see her doctor, and her doctor was like, you are going to have to possibly make plans to go out of state to deliver this baby. Because if you stay here in Texas, there is every possibility that if something goes wrong, you could end up unalived. So this entire video is her freaking out, finding out that late-term abortions aren't, a woman who is 3 trimesters in, just popping over to the clinic and getting a quickie abortion because she changed her mind. This video in and of itself pissed me off, and I ended up doing a little bit of research. I read through all of the comments, I went through some of her videos, and I realized that this video is actually satire. And that pissed me off even more because it's so believable, because people actually do think like this. And she claims that she's doing engage bait, where she is hoping that MAGA will come into her comments and engage with her and be like, oh my God, I did not know that this is what a late-term abortion was. Because there are people in MAGA who truly believe that a late-term abortion is just some woman popping over to that clinic and getting a quickie abortion and then going and getting a pedicure. The reality is her comments are full of people who are very left-leaning people who are like, around, find out. I even saw some of my mutuals in there saying things like, we tried to tell you. So I get that this video is satire and it's your engage bait or whatever, but I think it's really dangerous because I don't see a single MAGA person in there who is learning from this content. Unfortunately, it is way too believable. And it took way too fucking long to figure out that it was satire. Please find a better way to do engage bait.
And I'm starting to regret the way I voted, the way.
I know that a lot of y'all are responding in the comments out of a place of fear and anger that stems from fear. And I need you to understand that shaming this woman is not the answer. She is just as much a victim of all of the right-wing propaganda that you have been able to fight your way out of as we are. We just luckily had the tools and the skills to see past it, and she didn't. It is so painful to see this woman in fear for her life, having this moment of realization, this come to Jesus moment about what her vote actually cost all of us. And to see you all in the comments saying, oh, you got what you voted for. Y'all, this is embarrassing. And I get it. I get that you are also angry because of the fear that you have about your own lives, your friends' lives, your family's lives, because of how this woman voted. I get it. But I need you to do the thing that we are going to ask her to do, which is to not act out of your fear. AKA, do not respond to her with anger and hatred in your heart. Y'all really think people like this are going to have this come to Jesus moment and then see all of your hateful, angry, like disgusting, honestly, some of them comments, and be like, oh, this really makes me want to become a Democrat now and vote Democrat because they're so welcoming and understanding of what has happened to me and the ways that I have been misled in my life to get to this point.
What is your goal?
Now, Miss Lady, if you are seeing this, and I hope that you do, I'm here in Texas with you, but tomorrow morning I'm flying back to Oregon. I'm going to go see my family, and there is an empty bed in my old high school room that I invite you with open arms to come and stay in until you finish this pregnancy. Because that's what good people do. Making this post was hard enough. Asking for help is hard enough. I'm not going to shame this woman, okay? I'm going to hold her hand and guide her towards the light. And hopefully we can keep that baby and her safe too.
Oh my god, you guys. So the video was actually satire. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I didn't even know until that particular stage was played. The thing is, this, like, I just feel like this thing can happen or is even happening, but that shame, disgrace for them to come online and tell us that it's happening to them would not let them. And this is actually like, this is a typical example of you never can tell what will happen to you in the future. So when you're making decision that is going to affect your future, think carefully. Even though you're like, oh, I'm not gonna give birth. What if somebody you know, somebody what if you, I don't know, like anything can happen because this law is crazy. To think that a woman is having stillbirth and you cannot operate on her, she has to go to another state to take it out. It's crazy. A lot of women are getting unalive due to the fact that they had miscarriage and they could not take out the remaining. It's crazy. I've seen a lot of videos, and in fact, those videos are very touching, you guys. All because of the people that voted for this law. Like, it's crazy. I really don't even know what to say, you guys. What is your take on this video? I feel like I had a lot to say until I know that it was not real. Anyway, can you share your thoughts about this video down in the comment section? Respectfully, as always, your girl Mara Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.